Hey, what's up, y'all? It's D about to react to this video by Chrissy. So apparently Todd and Kandi's divorce is starting to get ugly. All right, Todd is disputing the prenup. Surprise, surprise. And he wants full custody. All right, there are a few vids talking about this, but somebody sent me this and they said that Chrissy is spitting. Okay, so I want to hear what Chrissy has to say because she has very strong opinions about these things. So we're gonna get it from her perspective. But yeah, this is wild. I mean, I predicted that he would do this as well. Like he wants some of that money that she got. But yeah, let's see what's happening. Let's watch it.
So I want to give a quick update on Kandi and Todd's divorce. And just an FYI, I'm doing weekly content for Neptunian members and patrons where I give my strategic advice and opinions on other trending topics. So if you're interested, the links to join are in the description box. Also, if you enjoy my content, be sure to like this video. Todd Tucker is now requesting primary custody of he and Kandi's children. And according to reports, he's questioning the prenup, claiming that he was under duress when signing or pressured to sign. And I said right in my last video that Todd might attempt to get the prenup thrown out or invalidated.
Because it's actually on tape, okay? Because like I said in the other vid, I remember watching their wedding special, and yeah, they were kind of pressuring him to sign the prenup because he didn't want to, which was a big red flag. I feel like if you don't want to sign a prenup when you marry somebody that clearly got way more money than you do look real sus, because it's like, why? you are here for love, right? So why don't you want to sign this prenup? Like, what's up? Like, I wouldn't mind signing one if I like got married to a billionaire or whatever who had way more money than me, because it's like, yeah, I'm here for you. And if there's a stipulation in the prenup, obviously, that if we start a business or something together and that takes off and we both contributed to it, like, obviously I expect some of that. But just your money, like, why would I feel like I should be entitled to that? I don't get that. So yeah, I wouldn't mind signing it. So when he didn't want to sign it, I was like, this is sus.
And that's exactly what he appears to be trying to do. Now, I'm assuming Todd is going to present footage from he and Kandi's reality TV show as proof that he was pressured to sign the prenup. And I'm not sure if the evidence is going to be strong enough. I'm sure Kandi has good lawyers, but you never know what can happen.
I think he didn't sign it until like the day of, or maybe the day before they got married. That's how much he didn't want to sign. Like, he was adamant about like not wanting to agree to that. So yeah, it does kind of show that she's like, no, I'm not doing it if you don't sign it. And apparently you're not supposed to do that when it comes to prenups. It should be like, okay, yeah, both parties are just on board to sign it. So maybe he can get it completely thrown out. And if that's the case, that's crazy.
I also saw where last month Todd shared a video of he and the kids on Instagram, and in the caption he wrote "Daddy Daycare." So I'm not sure if he intentionally did that to help his case or if he truly is the primary caretaker of his children. And if he does take care of them most of the time while Kandi is working, then okay. But I recall
Mama Joyce complaining
about Todd going out to party immediately after his daughter was born. And I only see Kandi with her kids. Not to mention that both her and Todd work. So I just have a hard time believing that Todd is the primary caretaker and that they aren't sharing responsibility. At this point, it just appears that Todd filed for full custody to get alimony and access to the portion of Kandi's money that she earned before they were married. I mean, that's the only logical reason that he would be, quote unquote, questioning the prenup at this point. So ladies, this is just another example of what can happen when you marry hypogamously. And yes, we know that this happens to men too. But personally, I don't believe that it can be equalized because women are typically left raising the children.
Or even if you do date or marry down, I don't think it should be this far down, because he essentially was like working for her, you know, or working on the set, you know, for a show that she was on. So he's like one of the workers. I think Mama Joyce called him the help or something disrespectful like that. So I feel like she did marry like down pretty far.
Not to mention the negative social impact that often comes with being a single mother after divorce. So I just don't think it's equal. And let's not forget that the alimony laws were originally put in place because men were leaving their wives destitute after divorce. So the marriage and child support laws that men always complain about actually came to be because of their own doing. And let's be real, it's already been proven statistically that women are the primary caretakers of the children.
See, that's when I feel like a prenup makes sense. If the man is just like, he making all this money and you are staying home to take care of the kids, I'm the breadwinner, but then it's like, y'all divorce and it's like, all right, bitch, bye, get out, go figure it out. Like, that's fucked up. So in that case, yes, it would make sense for the woman to be like, nah, I don't want a prenup, or be like, nah, we need some heavy stipulations on this prenup, you know? If you expect me not to work, like, nah, so a woman should be protected in that case. So I agree with them not wanting to sign it, but I was speaking about my situation. Like, I work, or other women who work and can easily take care of themselves. But yeah, I understand why women would not want to sign it in this case.
Both during marriage and after divorce. And women also take on most of the domestic work in the home, even when they have a job and pay half of the bills. So the division of labor is not equal. And so if anybody deserves alimony after divorce, it's typically going to be the woman. Now, if the roles are genuinely reversed and the man is truly raising the kids and doing most of the work around the house, then okay, he should get sole custody or child support and or spousal support. But in this case, I'm just not sold that Todd is doing most of the homemaking and the caretaking of the children. I could be wrong, but we'll just have to see as more details come out about this situation. And I've been looking online and I already see Black women siding with Todd, which isn't surprising to me. But I also see other Black women saying that they can't believe Mama Joyce was right, which is wild to me. The way we as Black women watch this scenario play out over and over again, specifically with Black women who marry hypogamously to Black men, and the way we act surprised every time it happens should be studied. This is a pattern with Black women at this point, and this is why I can't take y'all seriously when you harp on stories like the Danish deception and you pretend that Black women en masse are tricking on white men and being naive and gullible when it comes to white men and non-Black men, because Black women are naive and gullible with Black men the most. And what's crazy about this is that Kandi and other Black women are going through this with
I don't want to say the most. I don't know most Black women, okay? So I'm not gonna say that, but I have seen many situations where Black women have been kind of like taking care of their men, you know, because Black women, we out here winning, okay? Let's just call it what it is. Statistically, Black women, very educated, Black women holding their own out here. We killing it. So I feel like some Black women feel like, okay, well, I make all this money, so yeah, I can take in this dusty because I just want love. But it's like, not very smart. You definitely need to keep other things in mind because you don't want to end up in a situation like this. This is scary.
Who never even liked them like that to begin with and weren't even attracted to them. Kandi had to beg this man for sex months after.
Oh yeah, he did make that comment that she's not Rihanna. Very telling.
They got married. He negatively compared her looks to Rihanna on national television. And now he's trying to take a portion or half of her money that he didn't even earn. This is embarrassing. Yet I am sure that there will be very little videos on TikTok about how many Black women, just like Kandi, are basically getting scammed in these hypogamous marriages that you're getting into with Black men. Ooh. Black women would rather spend their time talking about the 0.001% of Black women like Onyeka who are getting scammed by foreign white men. Black women's priorities are backwards, and that is why they continue to get got by the men who are closest to them, by the men who look like them. Y'all will go on and on and on about how to vet a Dusty Brad, but can't vet a Dusty Dante or a Dustavius to save your life. And I'm just trying to figure out how many more times this has to happen before Black women realize that this is the risk you take when you legally bind yourself to these dusty Black men who makes it.
Yes. or dusty men in general, whatever. Because again, the Onyeka, like girl, you know. But I mean, like she's saying, that's not nearly as common. Like, let's be real. We don't have to research statistics to know that it's not. Onyeka's situation is not common, but it is a bit more common for black women to be entertaining black successful women with their own money and for them to be entertaining, you know, black men who are way beneath them financially. I don't want to say as a human being, like we're all equal in that sense, obviously, but I have seen this many times in my personal life with my friends and family. Ooh, I got a real extreme situation in my family, but I'm not gonna spill her tea, but it was bad. And yeah, definitely with like celebrities and whatnot as well. So she's not lying.
Significantly less than you, and you have their children.
And then marrying them. That's why, and I've talked about this before. When people are saying, "Oh, Rihanna needs to marry ASAP, he needs to marry her," huh? If I was Rihanna, I would not marry that man. Y'all are slow and don't understand how it works when you are a woman who makes way more than her man. Like, I would not legally bind myself to him at all. I don't think that's smart. And some people are saying they're secretly married for her sake. I hope that's not the case.
During this entire marriage, Todd has...
Because even when you get a prenup, look at what can occur. Oh, wait, my lawyer found a way to get this thrown out. Oh, wait, I was sad, I was depressed. Oh, you forced me. And then you paying him all this money.
Benefited the most. And if he's successful in getting the prenup invalidated or voided, he will continue to benefit the most after the divorce is over. This marriage was always a disaster waiting to happen, and Mama Joyce saw it coming. We all need to give Mama Joyce her props right now. I
ain't giving her shit, because here's the thing. Although she had a point and she was valid, her delivery was horrible, okay? She's a very insufferable person. I don't like talking about people mama, but if you saw the show, you know what I'm talking about. Like, she was a mess. So that was the issue. It was kind of like right message, wrong messenger. So her message was, it was distracting because of how her behavior was distracting. I'll say that. Because of, how she was acting on that show. It was like, girl, and she would disrespect the hell out of Todd. So it was a lot, but she was right.
And that Todd was an opportunist, and she was 100% correct.
She was right.
And there were a few people under my last video saying that Mama Joyce and her sisters led to the demise of Kandi's marriage and that they were toxic. And I'm not saying that they weren't. They definitely were not perfect. But they probably just saw through Todd's BS and they didn't like his character. And there are definitely mothers who are haters and try to sabotage their daughters' relationships. But sometimes it really is that they can...
I also didn't like Mama Joyce because it gave that she wanted Kandi's money. So it was like, oh, don't you need to get up out of here. He trying to take your money. Your money should be for me. That's also the vibe she was giving. So I was like, girl, fuck out of here. So yeah, her and his Mama Joyce wig. You know, she was on some bullshit. That's why people didn't really want to listen.
See when their daughters are being used and taken advantage of by their partners. And even though Miss Joyce is far from perfect, I think she saw that with Todd, and that's why she acted the way that she did. So ladies, let's normalize listening to black mothers and older black women in general who warn us against marrying down, especially now when we have several examples of how it typically ends. We're not just old, bitter femcells.
And just even with other races, that Kelly Clarkson, Kelly Clarkson, okay? The situation with her and what happened with her husband, also just terrifying stuff. And she also had a prenup. So, listen.
Who are trying to keep black women.
If you got a nice piece of change, you got to be careful out here, ladies.
Single. We're not hating on black love. We are just demystifying the black love fairy tale and trying to help you guys avoid these situations that we know will eventually happen. Because y'all go on and on and on about how we keep black women single, but Kandi ended up single anyway. And on top of that, she might end up having to give Todd a good chunk of her money that he didn't earn. And I'm sorry, but that is worse than being single.
Absolutely.
I would rather be single than have to deal with what Kandi is dealing with. And realistically, she was better off being single and avoiding Todd altogether.
Or just better off not getting married. You don't have to get married, y'all. I know the pressure is there, and a lot of these women will get married and be cool with marrying down because they want the title and they want to say, look, y'all have a ring, I'm married. But at what cost?
I mean,
just date permanently. I'm just like, that's what I would push. Like, come on, do we need the paperwork? Like,
sure, she got 2 beautiful children out of the deal, and that's great, but just...
I've asked this question before, because listen, these things have already been on my mind. I've talked about this before in other videos, but I remember thinking, whatever video I was watching, because it was some similar to this, I'm assuming, and I was saying, like, I wonder if you're able to, because I know some people, like, want the wedding and all of that, the celebration of love. I get that. So I wonder if it's possible for you to get a ring, okay? Because people also want the social status associated with it, okay? Get a ring, have a ceremony, but not actually be married legally on paper. Can you do that? So that something like this doesn't happen? I don't know if that is a thing, or... Yeah, I don't know if you can get away with that, but let me know. I'm gonna look into it too.
Imagine if she waited to have...
Because I would be more likely to want to do that, if I'm being honest.
Those children.
Unless I'm dating somebody who got way more money than me.
By a man who was better.
And right now, I'm not. I'm not dating someone who's way beneath me, though. Let's be fucking clear. I would never do that. But I am dating someone who does not make as much money as me. And he's an investment banker. He does not make as much money as me. So, there's that. I'm just leave it at that.
Qualified to...
He don't watch my videos, but
the outcome may have been different and much better for her. So black women, let's normalize marrying men who actually like you. Let's normalize...
I mean, to be honest though, I'm not saying anything that I haven't already said. So it's not like I'm being fake, okay? I'm very clear on several things. So it's not like I'm revealing anything that I can't stand behind. Let's be clear. But that is something that I probably will be more interested in if I ever were to get married. I want a fake one. Again, unless the man, the billionaire or something like that. Otherwise, I would want a fake marriage. I'm sorry.
Marrying hypergamously, or at the very least, marrying a man who is your financial equal. Anything less is too much of a risk. And there's always a possibility that the man isn't primarily there for you, but your money and your resources. Which, as a woman, that is not your job to provide if you are seeking a traditional relationship. So I'm going to continue to follow this story.
Damn, this is wild. I feel for Kandi, though, because honestly, when you make a certain amount of money, you don't typically come across a lot of men who make more money than you. Like, it is gonna have to get to a point where you have to consider people who make less than you. It is what it is. But like I said, you shouldn't date down too far. I feel like Kandi went down a little too far. But yeah, it's like slim pickings out here when you making a certain amount, and then the men who do make more than you is like, I don't want you. It's like, I'm not interested. I'm not attracted, to these particular men. So it's like you want to date someone who you're attracted to, that you have natural chemistry with, and sometimes that is going to be someone who makes less money than you. But yeah, I think she went down a little too far, and now she's facing the repercussions of that, because the fact that he's trying to claim he was under duress is crazy, because nobody forced you to do anything. So you decided to sign it because you wanted to marry her. So I don't think that should ever be thrown out under those conditions. Like, that's crazy, because it's like now you want to say that because you want her money. Like, that's fucked up. But yeah, I guess we'll see how it plays out. Y'all let me know what y'all think, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.